Hi, everyone. Welcome to Domain Sherpa. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, and we've got a great one coming up with Drew, Josh, and for the first time ever on the show, we have Leanne McMahon. Leanne is a web consultant, domain investor, and founder of Crunch.id, a website where the previous day's domain sales are broken down and analyzed. So definitely check that out. Leanne has also done some really cool and interesting stuff with Airtable, using it as a tool to manage her domain portfolio. She actually did a video walkthrough about it, and you can find the link to the video in the description of this show on the Domain Sherpa website, which can be found at DomainSherpa.com. So we talk about that a bit. And then as usual, we all play the domain game. And this time we've got Tin.xyz, Wedge.com, and Empathy.io. And then we've got the NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet. And we talk about some domains coming up for auction, such as Kevin.net, KitchenPlus.com, and TheRightWay.com. Also included on the list are SmartDiet.com and SmartDrug.com. And we asked the Sherpas which one they like better, since they're wicked smart for sure. And also, Drew and Josh try to work out a deal for some .io domains, so definitely tune in to see how that goes. And remember, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can also watch the video version at DomainSherpa.com and on our YouTube channel at ds.tv. You can also listen to the shows on Apple and Spotify and other podcast platforms as well. And as usual, big shout out to Dan.com, the #1 place in the world to buy and sell your domains, with a special platform made for domain investors. All right, with that, it's now time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. So let's go. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. Jay On, a.k.a. Sherpa Winfrey, a.k.a. Mr. Clean. And I'm the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. As you can see, my AKAs keep getting longer the longer we do this show. You know, the last couple really aren't even me. They just come, they come from the other hosts and everybody that's on the show, which lets me expand my AKAs, just like I hit everybody, all the other co-hosts and guests with their AKAs as well. And today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts. We have a very special guest today. I'll get to that, but let me just do a quick breakdown. There are 4 segments to the Domain Sherpa review. One, we've got the grand opening. That's what you're in that right now. That's where I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them. We talk about some related things, some unrelated things, cover some ground. We'll see what we get into today. Then we get into segment 2, which is the domain game. That's where we hear about what the Sherpas bought or sold recently. Everybody guesses the price. We keep score, get some swag to the winner. Segment 3 is NameJetGonnaJet, sponsored by our friends at NameJet. That's where we review a list of domains coming up for auction on NameJet, see what the Sherpas like, what they don't like, what they're into, which names they think you maybe should avoid, maybe because they want to buy them themselves. I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. Segment 4 is GrandClosing. That's where we discuss anything we haven't covered already, what's going on in the domain space, looking at the market, trends, current events, and allowing our guests to mention or promote anything they want to talk about that we have not already discussed. Usually GrandClosing isn't that grand. It's about 30 seconds because we realize we're up on time and it's time to go. So with that, let's go ahead and introduce the Sherpas. Special guest always gets introduced last, so I'm going to actually start below me with my boy Josh Reason, a.k.a. Bjorn Borg, a.k.a. Harry Kane, a.k.a. Triple Crown, a.k.a. Super Ball, a.k.a. Pickleball. Combined together is Super Pickleball. You know what I'm saying? And he is the founder of DNWE, Digital Fortune, domain investor, Zed Run, stable owner, and all around dynamic guy. I don't know. I don't have anything written down.
I've actually pretty much exited my position from Zed Run now, to be honest.
Oh, and okay.
I'm not like overly loved in the Zed community either, because I just like FUD the shit out of it now because I think it's going to zero.
Oh, well, a lot of it's going to zero. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing, right? I mean,
I inadvertently FUD it a little bit because of how many bad decisions I feel like the team makes. And I still have some exposure to it, but like I'm talking like 90% of my exposure I sold over the last like 2 months.
Oh, man.
We're gonna have to change that. We're gonna have to change that intro soon, man. Unfortunately, no longer the Zed Run stable G.
Well, so does that mean your father's now unemployed?
He's kind of got the scrappy horses right now. We're trying to make do with what we've got for a while, and we'll figure out another solution. Maybe in 2023. Maybe maybe I need a domain employee again,
He's in between things right now. That's right. Put him on hey, it's all about just good people that are willing to work. You know what I mean? Just like we were just talking about offline. Like, he fits the bill, man. He's the ideal employee.
Yeah, maybe maybe DNWE, maybe.
Oh, I like it. A resurgence. Let's go. I think the unfortunate thing with a lot of the NFT stuff, as we're seeing, everything that's happened in crypto, we talked about the FTX debacle, which we still are just, I think, in the very beginnings of seeing the actual full-on contagion impact of, and crypto's a mess, the economy's a mess, NFTs naturally, Web3. I mean, it's, the balloon has popped, and now it's just a question of what is it going to evolve into, which projects are going to continue to sort of maintain and manage and succeed. Some will, many and most won't, but it's interesting times for sure. So
I was thinking the other day, by the way, like, maybe I'll rebrand DNWE to Liquidus. Liquidus is like a word. It means like just above the temperature of liquid.
Ooh, okay.
And
look at you.
I like
it. Should I do that? Rebrand it to Liquidus, and then just like get this massive resurgence going and try and create
AKA Oxford over here.
AKA Oxford. That's a great AKA.
You gotta know the meaning of the domains you own, otherwise you just wrecked.
Liquidus. I love that, man. That's really cool. So is the domain available? Do you have that domain as in your portfolio?
Yeah, no, I was just like going through my portfolio and just like assessing how down bad I could possibly be right now. And I saw that one. I was like, oh, it's a good name. Like, maybe I could use that.
I like that a lot, man. We're going to talk about that. All right. Well, let's keep it moving, because I'm not even through the intros and I still haven't gotten to our special guest. So she's just sitting there like probably feeling like, can I talk yet? I haven't been introduced. You know what I mean? So we can't get too heavy into a discussion until I get through the intros. All right. Next on the list is second, but never second. You know what I'm saying? It's my boy, Andrew Roser. He's going to hit me. He's like, why'd you introduce me second, man? You're never supposed to introduce me second, man. I'm first or I'm last. You know what I mean? But Andrew Roser, a.k.a. Morpheus, a.k.a. the Dirk Diggler of digital assets, a.k.a. Bob Lee Swagger, the sniper, a.k.a. Drew. Drew got what I need, a.k.a. every Rosner has its thorn, a.k.a. we never going to give Drew up, get Rickrolled, a.k.a. Graybeard, the domain pirate. We'll leave it at that. I don't have to go through 20 every time. But although Jason Shepard on the last call was like, he said, that there's a little Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead to Drew. So, which now you got to at least watch like episode 1 or something, even though there are like 100 episodes in. But what's going on, man? How you doing?
Slightly better than last week. Down bad. Can the devs do something?
Can the devs do something? They begging for the devs. That shit you facing is called capitulation. Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I got some issues, but it's all good. It's all good. Just
it is all
head
good,
down, muscle through it. That's it.
Keep plugging away. Keep plugging away, man.
Keep plugging away.
All right. Well, good. Hey, a little better than last time is an improvement, even if it's incremental. We'll take it.
That's right. We're going in the right direction.
That's it. Nowhere to go but up, man. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere to go but up. We down.
Never say that, because there's always further down to go.
I know. That is true.
Doesn't matter how bad things are, it can always be worse.
Well, and that's how this, like a lot of this market, and look at the FTX.
But it's rarely better.
Look at the FTX thing. It's like, it can't get worse than this. And then it's like, ooh, it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse.
It's going to get so much worse.
And that's the thing. I mean, for a lot of folks, it's like, keep your head up, but keep your eyes open, because,
By the way, for the audience, I know I look highly distracted, and I kind of am, but I'm literally doing something just to be able to participate in the domain game today.
Oh.
So that is the excuse I have for my distraction.
All right. It's all good. It's all good, man. We're just here, just hanging out.
Preparation.
All right. Well, look, you do what you got to do, because I'm going to keep it moving on the intros. Finally, maybe next time, maybe with a special guest, maybe you get introed first. You know what I mean? I
didn't want to say anything, because I'm always so hard on you, but like for sure the special guest goes first. Like that's That's like hosting a podcast 101.
I don't know. You know what? Hey, look, feedback, please. Should the special guest,
Especially when it's a lady.
Hey, I know I'm going to get to it. We're going to take forever. She's still not getting introduced yet because we're now arguing about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I want the audience to tell us, should the special guest be introduced first or should they be introduced last? Please let us know, because that would be really interesting insight to get from the audience. Now, finally, with no further ado, I would like to introduce none other than Leanne McMahon, aka Steph McMahon, aka Leanne Rhymes, How Do I Live, aka Airtable Jordan. Air Jordan, aka Nestle. I'm Nestle when it's crunch time. Shout out to Common, aka Aya Stark, aka Enola Holmes. Data. I cannot make jars without clay. You feel me? All right. Leanne is a web consultant, domain investor, and founder of Crunch.id. That's the Nestle reference, a website where the previous day's domain sales are broken down and analyzed. And, Leanne is somebody who we interface all the time with on social media, but because we don't all get together in person that often, because the conferences and, don't happen like they used to in COVID and everything else. It's like, it's like we know each other, but we haven't really met like face to face until now. And so I'm super excited. Leanne, it's one of those things where, first of all, welcome to the show before I continue to go off. But
yeah,
so happy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So happy to have you finally here. We did a show a few months ago where we had mentioned that we do our domain management via Airtable. Shortly after that, you had kind of dug in and then kicked back some insight and a video and other things, some tools and around your own sort of journey through Airtable for managing your domain names, which I thought was super awesome. And one of those things, and we said at the time, got to get you on the show. It's finally here. So I want to ask you a couple questions about that. But first of all, thank you so much for being here. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah. Really, really proud to be part of DomainSherpa and can't wait to not get some merch.
That's 100% right.
You got to win the domain game to not get your merch. So you got to win the game first, and then you can not get your merch.
So if I don't win, do I get it? Like, is that how it works?
No, you just further.
This is like who's on first.
Exactly. You got to not win to get your not merch. All right. So it's so the Airtable piece, again, and I just want to take a couple of minutes to do this for a second, just because we talked about even doing like a whole show for this, which we probably could. As we had mentioned, we use Airtable for I think it's a fantastic tool. One of the things we even have run scripts against the whois to update our expiration dates of our domains on our portfolio. We have several thousand in the portfolio.
No, we also got, I think the coolest integration, and I am very non-technical, but I think the coolest integration that we do is with the sign now, so that, like when our brokerage contracts get signed, it automatically enters a listing into our domain brokerage listing. So we have our domain management, and then we also have our brokerage management. And it just automatically, enters all the fields into the brokerage management spreadsheet. So, you go in there every week when we're creating our newsletter, when we're creating, making sure we're on top of all the names we're brokering, et cetera.
Yeah. Well, and it also then
auto notifies us when they expire.
And it pushes the names also onto the site as well. So it does that as part of the, the process as well, like it's integrated into the website itself also. And so big shout out to Paul, who helped develop that on our team. And because that was, it definitely makes life easier when all that shit just works, right? And and I think that's one of the coolest things about Airtable, because I think when we were talking offline, it's like, when you first look at it, you're like, all right, it's sort of an online version of Excel. It's like a Google Doc. Is it worth the effort to understand it? But Leanne, I know you've had some pretty cool like experiences with it. You want to kind of talk about just some of what you like about it?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, at first glance, it does just seem like an online spreadsheet, like a Google Sheets or Excel. But for me, there's two things that put it head and shoulders above those. One is it has an option called interfaces, where it can make visual representations of the data in your database. And you know me, I love a graph. So just having everything just at a glance, like I've got it up here. I can show you, well, not show you, but tell you some of the, so you can make a big dashboard with it. So at a glance, I can see next month my renewals are $1,529. I can see that I've got 329 domains that I'm just churning, that I got on a promo that I'm probably going to ditch, but I can see those. I can see that I've got 1,671 domains I'm going to hold. I've got 288 domains within the 60-day lock. So I know to keep track of those so that I can rerun them through sudo and afternic to get that activated. So I really like the interfaces and that you can just get a snapshot of where you are.
Yeah, no, I love it. And so you have over 1,000 domains now. So that's a pretty big portfolio. You're not playing around.
No, I'm trying. At the moment, I'm buying maybe 3 or 4 names a day. I'm just trying to kind of grow it steadily like that. But
awesome.
Let me ask Josh and Leanne, because what I want to know what you guys think. What do you think is the minimum viable portfolio size? Assuming smaller names. We're not talking about super premium names. We're talking about somebody that enters the space today. They got, mid 5 figures in capital, 25 to 50 grand in capital. What do you think is the minimum portfolio size to be creating consistent sell-through? So, where, I don't know, let's say, because the industry average is around 2% sell-through rate for I think the average portfolio. Let's say in order to get a 2% sell-through rate, just rough numbers, what do you think? I mean, you're building a portfolio up, Leanne, right? And so, I would imagine that you're seeing is, probably the quality of the names is improving as you do more acquisitions.
For sure.
And as the portfolio size gets larger, you should be seeing, now obviously there's some weird macro conditions right now that affect the volume of offers and sales and all that. But ignoring that stuff for a second, what do you think? Do you have any estimates? Do you have a feeling based on this sort of incremental building of your portfolio?
I don't have a feeling, but I've heard Josh say on a podcast before that it was around 2,500 was sort of the spot where things started to change for him and he was getting regular sales. So I'm just going for that goal based on what Josh said. I don't know, Josh, if you still think the same kind of number in normal times.
Yeah, I was going to say around that number. I don't remember talking about it, to be honest, but it's for me, it's probably, I would say at least around that 2,000, 2,500 number. I think even then, it depends on what you're looking for as well, right? I mean, if you're pricing your names in that kind of like 1 to 3K or under 5K or whatever, I assume that most people, when they consider, I want to make a decent living from domains, you're talking about looking to make, I don't know, at least like 100 grand a year, maybe. And I don't think you can get there unless you get into the thousands of names. I think that when you're talking about small, I think 500 names or less than 1,000 names is not enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Leanne, when you're acquiring your domains, where you find yourself, like, are you hand regging? Are you
hand regging, back ordering? I don't tend to get involved too much in auctions because I just don't really have the budget for it. I chicken out quite early. I'll put like $20, and then as soon as I get outbid, I go, oh, okay, well that's the end of that name. Then I'll just leave it. So
it's very hard to get. It's very hard to get a sell-through rate above like 1% with the names that are available below, $60. Right? It's like, you can definitely get a sell-through rate of, I don't know, 5%. If you're spending more on domains, but that's super capital intensive, and it doesn't really fit into that mold of what do you do if you have mid 5 figures and you want to start building a portfolio. It just doesn't fit into that mold, right? If you start looking to buy like names that are registered in 10 plus extensions, plenty of end users out there, decent chance of selling if you like trying to get 5 to 10x your money. Yeah, like I understand. I think that those kind of names will sell at like a 3-5% sell-through rate. But the problem is it's just super capital intensive. You're not going to be able to build up a portfolio of 500,000, 1,500 names with mid 5 figures. You're going to need a lot more money.
Yeah.
No, I think that's super.
That's a good point.
Stuff. Yeah. And I love hearing it from you guys because you guys kind of represent this new age domainer, data driven, younger than the dinosaurs that Drew and I are, right? She was like, if I'm a dinosaur, I'm at least a T-Rex.
No, it's well, damn, that's obvious, right? But it's interesting, like looking at our, we've got sort of the legacy portfolio, Vana, we've got, our DomainX portfolio, but like, if we look at it like cumulatively, it's like, I don't even know, maybe 7,000 names, 8,000 names. And like, I feel like it's been sort of stuck there for the most part, trending up very, very, very slightly, but it's been stuck there for probably 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, plus or minus 15%. And I was wondering about this actually just the other day. Why is that, right? Like we don't sell a lot of names, right? Like we don't proactively really try to sell any of our names. We've got very few that are actually priced by it now, despite I would like to have the bottom 60 to 80% of our portfolio priced with buy it now. I guess over the last 12, 18 months, I've definitely bought a lot less than I historically have. Mostly because I felt that the prices in the market had gotten away from prices I was willing to pay. But yeah, I don't know. But I guess where I was going with this is like, I think you also sort of stall out, right? Like I buy opportunistically because I see a name on Dropcatch or NameJet or a private deal that I want to buy, and then I buy it. I don't generally buy portfolios. Occasionally I'll buy a small portfolio, 10, 20, 50 names. And so I guess if I'm doing that opportunistically, there's just an average of like, I'm only going to be able to acquire a certain number of names a year. And so that probably is somewhere on par with the opportunistic sales that I make. And so, I think that's probably why we stalled out. And so the reason I was thinking about it is like, all right, so let's say I wanted to get to 20, 30,000 names. What would I have to do? And I don't have an answer to that question. I was wondering it myself. So I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I would say it's probably fair to say that you're probably in like right now, kind of maybe a similar position to where I was a few years ago, like trying to build up, right? For you, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face when you're trying to build a portfolio of names that you feel confident will sell?
Was that to me, Josh?
Yeah, that's for you.
Yeah, good question. I guess there's only so many names that are dropping that you can back order that aren't then going to go to auction because everyone else thinks it's the same. So you're kind of relying on the names that, they're not registered in many extensions. And I mean, I have a keyword list, about 90 keywords that I run through expired domains, and I'll go through that each day to put in my back orders and check the drops and things. So it's just, working on the lower end of the market. It is tricky.
Just interrupting you for 1 second. The keywords, are these prefixes and suffixes, or are these like the major? Okay, got it.
Yeah. So it's all, at the moment, I'm just getting a lot of 2word.coms.
Yep.
And then the odd one word, XYZ.
Did you start doing that when I started talking about that in my podcast? I'm just curious.
Talking about?
Like the suffixes and the prefixes and how.
No, I've had that for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you can identify keywords that sell based on historical sales data, like right from name bio predominantly, if you can identify those keywords and then filter in lists and go through the drops, I think that is 100% the best way to build a portfolio right now.
Yeah, and for me, it's names that I've sold. So I'm seeing similar suffixes or prefixes to names that I've already sold. So I thought, okay, well, I sold a few of those, so I'll get a few more of those kind of names. So just building a list through that. But I started with geo names and outbounding them gives you a bit of a budget to then go to the next level of sort of 2word.coms on the drops, which then will hopefully give you the budget to go for more, lower end 1 words or higher end 2 words. And I think that's just the progression that you make in this industry. You just keep going one rung up the ladder. I'm still only on, rung 2 really, but that's the end goal. Just keeping with the 2word.coms and then progressing. I think, did you listen to Ruben's podcast on Domain Name Wire? Just came out yesterday. Busy Father.
I
That
saw
was
that you
really good.
posted about it. I haven't seen it, or I haven't listened to it yet, but definitely will. And
he shared a lot of information, his portfolio size, his sell-through rate, and the kind of names he was registering and the ones he's registering now. So he's a couple of years ahead of me. So he's following.
So he's doing all hand reg?
Me.
No, him.
He does hand reg, back orders. That's about it. He doesn't really get involved in auctions either, because that's just not really his business model at the moment. But he is like progressing to better names, and when he sells one, he's getting better names from the profits. So I think it's the path most people follow, isn't it?
Yeah, no, and I think it's interesting and really cool to see the progression and kind of, your journey, right? And like you said, you're kind of going up the ladder. And I think you're probably more than just, rung 2, right? I mean, with 1,000 domains.
You're gonna see my sales this year.
Well, I think
still rung 2.
Well, for what it's worth, sales this year for everybody are, different than they were a year ago, right? So, and maintaining through the bad and getting to the good is really, obviously going to be, some of this is going to be just based on survival, right? So you're trying to grow, but you're also just trying to maintain in what is extremely challenging economic climate. So,
but this is a good lesson for everyone as well, isn't it? To see that, sometimes it's down, sometimes you're not getting sales every month. And that's important, I think, for longevity in this business.
Oh, 100%. Anybody who came into the market, oh, go ahead.
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, right? I mean, that literally applies. That's real shit. That applies to everything. Like, having an experience of near death, whether that's in business, in life, you don't make the same mistakes again. You learn, unless you're an idiot. And then you can't fix stupid, so can't worry about that.
But I think anybody who came into the space or really got active in the space, like a year ago, or within that window of like sort of the the irrational exuberance, I think this is going to be a tough lesson, right? And it's just people who have seen it in other sort of verticals, or not even verticals, but like, stocks or whatever, like, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, and so much of this becomes, being able to be successful over a long period of time. You've got to be, you got to be cautious, but when you don't know it till you go through it. And, so if you're going through it for the first time, it's like, keep your head up, just be smart, be cautious. This is not a time to, overextend yourself, like, but opportunities will come, and, and it's always darkest before the dawn. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be dark for a little while. So anyway, but I'm like choking. That was really funny, Drew. But all right, well, this is great. This is a really good combo. I guess we got to do the domain game though, so we got to slide into some of that. So if you guys are ready, let's move on officially into segment 2, which is the domain game, where the Sherpas are going to talk about a name they recently bought or sold. The rest of the Sherpas are going to guess the price. The winner may or may not eventually get some swag. There are rumors but that's part of makes it like a collector's item. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's not just me.
No, it just gives you a bad rap, man. You just don't do what you say you're going to do.
Oh,
it's like,
man.
I'm embarrassed for you. You know what I mean? Like that. If it was me shipping those things out, you guys have it the next day.
Yeah,
it's you want a sweatshirt? I don't want that liability on my mental balance sheet.
That is a real gem, and it's true, because that is how you operate. You really do. Like you're gonna do it, you do it fast and get it done.
But it literally, it's not that I'm altruistic. It's literally just the way, like, I can't keep that in the back of my head. Oh, I owe it. If I got 500 IOU type of, and I'm not even talking about value, I'm talking about just things I got to do. It's like, I will literally collapse. I can't process,
So it's like having things hanging over you. Yeah, it's not nice.
No, that's a dark cloud. That should get you. You got to just pop,
for me,
pop.
I enjoy feeling the pressure of that dark cloud. You know what I mean? It's like, it's comforting to feel that kind of stress all the time. You know what I mean? If I didn't have it,
till Thor breaks out his thumb, breaks out the hammer and fucking drops some lightning on your ass.
No doubt. All right. So Leanne, let's start with you, since you were the upper right of my screen. You got a buy or a sell? What you got?
I'm going to do a buy because I haven't sold anything for a couple of months. And this is a buy that wasn't a hand reg. I did delve into an auction, and it wasn't a one bid $15 auction either. So I thought this would be a good one to do.
Okay.
So it's Tin, TIN, Tin.xyz.
Ooh, Tin.xyz. All right. I like it.
I like it.
You know,
I want to make that like a conspiracy theory website.
Yeah, I like
we talked
Tin Hat.
about, the
Yeah,
XYZs.
Tin Hat.
We talked about the XYZs and, just, how they've been trending in a positive way. They become, more and more popular amongst, crypto and Web3 folks. We talked about Swetha. We said we should get her on the show, and, the offer still stands. Like, what's up?
Well, did you actually reach out? Did you be like, yo, let me get up in your DMs? Like, did you?
Well, no, but somebody tweeted at her.
That's up in the dark cloud, right?
Somebody tweeted at her and said, "Hey, you should get on Sherpa," and she didn't respond. You know what I mean? So, I'm taking it slow, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a process to it. You know what I mean? So,
be like, yo, Swift, let me get up in the DMs.
What's that, Josh?
Is it a standard renewal, Tin?
No, it's 200.
Okay.
Oh, you bought a liability. Oh, breaking my
I can
heart.
stretch to that. I've spent 200 on far worse.
Breaking my heart, Leanne. Yeah,
all right, so the way we do it, we got to put the number on the phone. All right, but that's an interesting point too. I mean, you're looking at it. That renewal cost has to be taken into consideration.
200's fine. I've got star.xyz, and that's a grand renewal, so that's a heavier.
Oh wow!
Tell me no more, Leanne.
So, those are great names, though. All right.
They are, so, yeah. I'm
just
gonna.
Unfortunate they got a liability on them.
All right.
But this one's only 200 and something, so it's fine.
All right. So we got Tin.
Yeah.
XYZ, and we're guessing what you paid, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
All right.
Josh, you got
Josh,
it.
You ready? Yes, Josh, what are you doing? You can't check name bio, dog. Get your hands up.
Sorry. I was looking. I was going to see if I could quickly find a buy, but no. Here we go. I'm going to say right on the money.
Ready, set, boom. All right. So for those of you,
good spread.
Yeah. So for those of you who are at home or who are listening as opposed to watching, whether you're at home or somewhere else, it doesn't matter. Josh has $250. Drew has $1,123, and I have $2,400. So that is the spread. So
mine's low. Mine's low. I just want to say mine is low.
Yours is lower, almost as low as the renewal price on the domain.
Yeah, because I thought you guys would go high, so I get everything above that.
All right. So Leanne, who is the winner of this round?
Josh.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Josh. 449.
449. Oh man, you millennials are on that wavelength. I don't know. I feel like I'm I thought I should have been the winner. I thought that name was worth more. All right, so talk to us. So where'd you buy it, and what's your thought process, and what you doing with it?
So it was a Sav auction.
Okay.
3-letter pronounceable actual word in XYZ, which is obviously popular these days. So I mean that was it. That was a no-brainer for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was going to go up to about 500. So
okay.
Yeah, I got it before I had to just quit.
Yeah, the renewal to me, I mean, so Drew, I know you're kind of averse to high renewal prices, right? And when you have as many domains as we have in our portfolio, obviously, it takes a toll if you've got any of those premiums. But if you're looking at a renewal price that's higher than normal, right? How many years are you thinking about? Like, are you baking that into the price? I mean,
yeah, I only have two.
I'm putting 10 years of renewals on top of whatever I paid for that name in terms of like, what did I pay for this name? 10 years of renewals on top of whatever I paid is the way I think about it.
Leanne, do you do something similar?
Yeah, I just factor in, what I'm going to sell it for. And if I can absorb that cost, for a few years. If not, I know I can liquidate it for whatever I've put into it over the years, for Star and for Tin. I know for both of those, so I'm one renewal into Star. I could liquidate that tomorrow because I got it on a half price deal. So I got it for 500.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to just tell you a very short little story about why, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's why I have become extraordinarily adverse to premium renewals of it. I don't care what the domain is. I was in an auction. It was one of the live auctions, right? It was probably a domain sponsor. It was what were those things called back in the day? What were they? It was Domain Fest. I think it was a Domain Fest. And there was a live auction, Monty doing his thing. And DL.TV came up. And DL.TV. And I thought, ooh, DL.TV. I'm going to buy that name. And I think I bought it for like $5,000 in the auction. $4,000, $5,000, something like that. And I thought, wow, love that. Love that name. And whatever, paid it, took weeks, but finally got the name. And then a couple weeks after I get the name, whoops, it auto renews in my account. And I didn't know that it had a $1,200 renewal fee. And I thought, oh, it was a gut punch. I thought, oh my God, are you kidding me right now? I just bought a domain name that has, I'm paying 25% of what I just paid for this name in renewals. And so then I thought, all right, exactly what you said. That's why it triggered me, because I said, all right, well, I'm one renewal into this name, one or two more, and I'll sell it. Here I am. I've had this name now for 7 years, 8 years. And it's just renewing every year, $1,200, bop, 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 fuck you, VeriSign, right? And it's like, what am I? So now what am I? Like, I'm 12, 15 grand into this name, right? And it's like, what's my upper limit on a DL.TV, right? 20 grand, 15 grand, 25. If I got really lucky, like, I don't know if there's any sales above that, right? And so, at what point do you just say, I'm not throwing any more good money after bad? And that's the point I'm at, right? Is I'm just at this point of like, all right, I'm basically 60%, 70% or whatever I'm going to sell this name for, I've already paid out in fees. And what's the opportunity cost, right? Like, at least 2 of the 7 or 8 years of renewal fees that I entailed here, at least 2 of those were periods at which, let's just say, Bitcoin was at its bottom, domains were in the bucket, where I could have deployed that capital in something that would have been more liquid and probably generated a 5 or 10x in a very short period of time. And so, opportunity cost to your capital is very, 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 very important, especially in a market where we have higher interest rates, especially in a depressed market where, things are less liquid and there is good buying opportunities. So just take that into consideration. Again, I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you made a terrible buy. Those are both great names. But you have to really carefully consider premium renewals when you're making a purchase, because don't assume anything. Markets change from one day to the next. And so you got to just assume you're going to sit on it for 10 years. Every domain purchase you make, you should assume you're going to sit on it for 10 years, unless you know exactly, I know who I'm selling this to. I'm turning around next week and I'm going to flip it, right? That's a different game. But if you're buying it and putting it in your inventory, assume 10 years. That's it. My story's over.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb, and so the old man just dispensing advice to the young kids on the show now, that's where we're at. That's where we're at here on Domain Sherpa. And but I would say if you take 10 years of renewals into consideration, then technically I think I won the point, because then it's closer to my number.
Get out of here, you.
All right.
It might sell tomorrow,
Yeah, let's go.
It might sell tomorrow.
I hope it does.
That's exactly right.
Imagine waking up to that email.
Yeah, no, it'll come. And so no, good stuff. All right, Drew, you are up next. You have a buy or a sell. I think you were literally buying a name on the show live to have a name for the domain game.
Yeah.
What you got? So it's another buy.
It's a buy. Wedge.com.
You just bought that from James right now?
You said you were going to pass on it, man. We literally were on a call like just before we got on the show, and you're like, I'm going to pass. And then it's like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to buy it. Here we go. So, all right. So now, see, I know what they were asking for it, so I'm probably disqualified on this one. So it means this is going to be Josh and Leanne, because I don't want to like, what do you call it? I don't want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to like.
Bro's down, but he's not down bad. You're not down bad. All right. Not when you're buying wedge.com. All right. It is.
All right. Well, then you probably know what he was asking for too, then, Josh. But all right, let's go. Let's go.
All right. Hold on.
I know. I think it might be your point just by default. That's what I'm saying. So
let's see.
That's what I don't even want the appearance of improprietary.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm gonna have to, Billy. You're gonna have to fix this whole shit because I can't talk. Like I'm struggling here. All right, go ahead. Oh wait, sorry, you're right. Oh no, I'm out on this one. All right, ready? Go ahead. 40,000, 95,000.
JT, you sure don't want you can throw your hat in the ring if you want.
All right, hold on. I'm going to say this is.
I don't understand. Hold on. You said you don't know. You're not.
I don't know exactly. I know what he was asking for. I know what we were offering.
He knows what the asking price was.
Yeah. So, and I know what we had offered, but so I'm just gonna say, let's see if we.
Wait, Josh, where were you?
95.
And Leanne, what are you?
40.
Oh wow. Oof. Man, you gotta make me feel bad. I paid 115.
Yeah. So, and then that would have been my point, but Josh technically will get it. And since I'm out on it, but I knew that it was initially looking for like 150, and I know the number was dropping some, so I knew that there was an opportunity to try to steal it at like 100K or maybe a little better. But boom, wedge.com, baby. I mean,
wedge.com.
Oneword.com, and that's a solid one at that. I mean,
Yeah, it's a good one.
So, yeah. So, Drew, you want to give us some thoughts on why you like the name?
It's just a great 5-letter oneword.com. I mean, I honestly don't love the price. I think, the right price was about 75 right now in this environment. But, I think it's been a little bit of time since the last great name I bought. So, just wanted to feel something.
Yeah.
I feel like we took a little wind out of his sails, though. Like, you bought the name and we all kind of came in under. So he's like, fuck you guys. Like, I thought this was cool. Like, you know what I mean? I was like really ready to just, like get the accolades. But still a fantastic name, man. Let's go, and we've had some clients lately that are looking for the, oneword.coms that, this could be a fit for something like that. And, so it's not like names aren't selling. It's not like there isn't interest. It's just, everything's about timing and matching the right name with the right buyer and all that good stuff. And this one's pretty dope. So, well, good job, Drew, and good job, Josh. So I think that kind of makes Josh, you're going to by default be the winner. But if you have a name, let's give the audience the benefit of another name and some analysis.
Can you see this?
No. Oh yeah, your message was sent. Trying to feel something.
I haven't bought a name in ages. Who are you sending that to?
I was negotiating with someone on Dan to try and buy their name, and I said I'm going to use this name, but I said, hey, this is my max, and it was my initial offer. I said, I'm just trying to feel something. I haven't bought a domain in ages, and he responds back, okay, let's do it.
Let's go. All right. Man, there's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. All right. So can you divulge? Is that the one we're about to do right now?
Yeah, we might as well do that one. Yeah.
All right. Talk to me. What's the domain?
Empathy.io.
Ooh, man, I love the range of names today, man. We got a great
Empathy.io.
We got all one words. We got an XYZ, an IO, and a .com. This is a solid.
I feel like we own empathy.org.
Empathy.io. You got to sell the wine. That could the wines for Gary V, right? I mean, is he a potential?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's actually a bunch of.
Why he's got a wine called Empathy?
Yeah, he isn't. Yeah, that's his thing.
Empathy wines. That's the one where you text, right? You text to order.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. And he's got to find something to do now.
I just don't like that dude.
The Web3. Well, you don't like his toxic positivity, man? What's wrong? Come on, man.
He represents everything I hate.
I think, you were trending upwards at the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? And now he's like, that's it. I'm burning it all down. Tell me, give me somebody that everybody likes, and I'm going to tell you how much I hate him.
No, but it's toxic positivity. It's just his, relentless bullshit. It's like, just shut up, like.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know.
Hey, look, shout
You know what
out
I'm
to
saying? He also, man, I felt scorned. He did that stupid gimmick where with the like, buy my books and I'll give you an NFT or something like that. You had motherfuckers ordering like 100 books. And I was like, motherfucker, you're just burning down, you're just cutting down the Amazon rainforest to push your NFT project. Like, man,
the
about
whole
to get
point is we're
Monica
trying to go
Lewinsky.
digital. You know what I mean?
No, no Tanya Harding. Like, somebody said Tanya Harding your ass. Like,
Okay. You know what? Let's reset. Let's recenter the room here. You know, what is it? Reset the room. That's it. Reset.
I
the
like
room.
trees more than people. So, you know, it's like I was offended by
I
that.
mean, in most cases, you know, trees are smarter and just better overall for the earth than people. But
that's without a doubt.
So it's all good. I think, you know, but hey, to his credit, I do remember him saying, like, even when things were in the throes of all this irrational exuberance around Web3 and NFTs, you know, he was pretty, you know, said it pretty straight. He's like, look, you know, just so everybody knows, like, you know, a lot of these things are, you know, a lot of this is going to go to zero, you know, not only not all these projects are going to succeed, but a lot of them, most of them are going to fail. And, you know, so I think he kept it real. He seems like a genuinely nice guy. I mean, people, when they meet him in person, like really vibe, like they like so excited, you know. And I think that, you know, there's
Gary
something.
V.
Yeah. You know, when people meet him,
Yeah.
like they feel his vibe and they feel like, you know, like he really is like he is like the way he puts himself out there, as I understand, and I don't know him personally, but the way he puts himself out there with all that, you know, that toxic positivity is how he is for real. And I think that's, you know, and credit to him for having that consistency, right? If you're going to at least play a role.
That I agree with. Like, really, just that's actually the hardest part in business. Period, is consistency. You just to be able to show up every single day and just continue to like maintain an MO and just incremental, you know, growth and just showing up consistently. That actually is the hardest part. And so I will give him props for that.
And homie works hard. I mean, he's been making.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's just a message. It's just
it's just too positive for you, man. I get it, man.
Man.
You're allergic to it.
The world, that's just like, just sick or tired. Everybody thinks the world's rainbows and butterflies, and it ain't.
Well, it isn't.
Storm clouds,
unicorns, rainbows. We all ain't gonna make it. All right.
No.
So let's see. We got empathy.io. And I thought this was going to be a short show today, by the way, guys. But here we are. And we haven't even gotten a NameJetGonnaJet yet. All right. So empathy.io, it was a purchase, right? You just bought it because you had to feel something. That's what you said. And what did you pay? Okay. All right. I'm good. Everybody got their number on the phone? Leanne, you got the number? Drew?
Empathy.io. This is a buy.
This is a buy. Empathy.io.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Show me what you got. What's Leanne? Okay, we got it. Well, we got a big spread here.
Wait, y'all think he's paying that kind of money to buy Empathy.io?
I don't know. I mean, this is where we're at now, you know? So hold on. Drew, for the record,
I can't even bring this dude on the show anymore as an expert if he paid that much money.
Drew, for the record, says $488. Leanne says $5,000, and JT says $12,000. So we have a large.
Good thing
spread.
JT's only the host.
Hey,
JT, me and you need to talk, bro. We need to talk about this wild guy. 488?
I mean,
joking me?
for oneword.io, that's like, I feel like that's insulting. But who gets the point?
I thought I was putting I put a high price.
Leanne is exactly on the price.
You know, I was
What
gonna
are you
go
all
like
talking about? Listen, I'll give you my whole list. You pay me $5,000 a name. I'll give you the whole list of my top 50 IO names. You can have them right now. Deal done.
We can make a deal. We can make a deal for one of your. Yeah, we can do it right now.
You know what he should be?
No, not one. I'm talking about the whole list.
No. All right. Well, okay.
You know what?
Okay.
He should. You know what he should buy off of one of the IO names that you have currently at the registrar, Drew, is Mage.io. That's the one that he should be buying right now. You know,
give me loan.io right now. I'll give you 10 grand for it.
Ooh.
No, but I want a bigger deal. I don't want to do a one-off deal. Then I feel like I got,
Well, I thought we were going to get some action, some excitement. Leanne, congratulations on the point, by the way.
We can get some action. If Drew's, I will buy all of the names in bulk, all of them, up to 200K if you're valuing them at like $500 each at that level for sure.
I didn't say, I said 5,000 each. I didn't say 500.
No, but you said 488.
But
so,
I got
okay,
every
all right,
single one is better than empathy. Every single one.
Okay, give me
How
one
do
that's
I,
better than
JT,
empathy.
how do I use this damn inventory? How do I like find .io names?
All right, hold on. Let me get it.
All right, here we go. Ready? Ready?
Pull up the table.
You want to make a list?
Leanne,
You got to
this is
jot
gonna-
these down. Ready? Trees.io.
That's
which
better
is
than
slang-
empathy? Hold on.
Dude,
Hold
trees
up.
is the slang word for cannabis. Trees.
That's not better than empathy.io.
Hold on, I'm giving you.
Dude, it's not even a question. All right, myblock.io.
Okay.
You want 3-letter .ios or no?
No, I want comparable brands to empathy.io.
All right. Unchained.io, one of the best .ios. There's really 3 massive companies called Unchained. Unchained Capital, Unchained, whatever, the guys that bought NFT.com from me. And then Unchained from Laura Shin, the #1 podcast in crypto.
Okay.
All right. We got health insurance. We got mesothelioma, the single most valuable keyword on the planet. We got sovereignty.io. We got jesuschrist.io.
No.
Jackrabbit.io. Unchained, Locksmith. Oh, JT just messed me up. I had the names.
So
Lavender.
they're sorted though.
Lavender, which is killer. Palm Tree, Old Timer, seniors.io, seniors.com. So for $2 million, by the way. Limited.io, killer. Taxi Cab, killer. PXP, which is player versus player. LSD, which is LSD. Russia.io. SOU.io, which is search in Mandarin. 1E, which is a 2-character if you want that. Buddha. We got Jesus Christ and Buddha up in this.
Did you say posh.io? Did you say that one?
I didn't get there yet.
Oh, my bad.
Spores.io, like magic mushroom spores. Refill.io, molecular.io, blackcard.io, humpback.io, posh.io, olive tree, quadratic.io, which is Vitalik's thing. Mundo.io, which is world in Spanish. It's killer. It's actually probably my favorite one. Vaporizer.io, bluesky.io. We can't include that one because that's like, probably 7 figures value. Because of the Jack Dorsey. And then we got leasing.io, essential.io, and mortgages.io.
Okay.
JT, why is loan.io not even in here?
It's a good
Do we
question.
still own that? Or do we sell it?
That's
Did you sell that? I saw Mr. Premium was brokering it, and I was wondering why.
Maybe I sold it.
Yeah, let me check the.
Yeah, I sold it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I sold it for, but I sold it.
Oh yeah, it's sold. Do I have a sale price here? Yeah. No, I mean we know what we sold it for. I mean,
what did you sell
We
it for?
do?
I'm curious.
Can I?
Yeah, because I don't know.
Can I disclose it? Can I?
Sure.
It's sold for $50,000.
Oh no, 56,000. I have it right here. 56,000.
Wow. I think you sold it wholesale for that.
You tripping?
It's 5x
I think
what we
I'm
bought.
pretty
He
sure-
also
I'm pretty
bullish.
sure it's-
Buy this whole list.
I'm pretty sure an investor.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of motherfuckers. Put your money where your mouth is.
Bro, I'll be honest with you, 100% honest. Lavender.io, I would buy. Mage.io, I would buy. And Essential.io, I would buy, and that's it.
Not leasing.
No.
What about
Not
posh.io?
vaporizer.
No.
Not
Oh.
posh.
Oh, posh. Yeah, I'm posh.
I mean,
You wouldn't buy something like Olive Tree. Olive Tree is a million times better than Empathy. Like, think about who you sell these to.
It's not though.
I'm
It's just
torn.
not.
I'm torn here because I don't agree with Drew,
All
but
right.
I'm contractually obligated to agree with Drew.
All right. What about Molecular? No. I'm not, I don't even. I'm actually. Like, this is actually very interesting for me to like go through this. So like molecular.com.io.
Molecular.io is a good name. I would buy that too.
Okay. Limited. Palm Tree. Yeah. Palm Tree. Jackrabbit.
It was light outside when we started this podcast.
All right. Listen. So, all right. Is there a deal?
So like the names that I mentioned just then, like I'll pay you like around the same price as I paid for empathy.io for all those. We can talk about it after.
All right.
All right. I like it though. I think there's a deal to be made. But Leanne,
deals, I like it.
yeah. So
Leanne, this is like history. We don't do this very often. You're yeah.
No,
I'm honored to be witnessing it firsthand.
Yeah, no, this is what it's all about. You know, you put smart people in the room. We're all domain nerds at the end of the day. It's like we're all trying to make money and spend money. It's like it's all happening live. I love it.
Yeah, we all just want to feel something.
We all just want to feel something in these dark times. All right. Real quick.
Sometimes it's just nice to debate with the GOAT. Am I right, Drew? Just get into a debate with the GOAT and
I stand in the mirror and do that all the time.
Oh man. All right. Look.
I'm just kidding. I've been very humbled this week. I'm not gonna lie.
So
all right.
Well, all right. Hey, so this is what I'm saying. So that's the
Moving
domain
on.
game. The winner is Josh. Congratulations. But Leanne did get the point, so that's good. The newcomer, the rookie, shows up and draws a little bit of blood. That's good. Love to see it. Although arguably I think I could have gotten the point on that first domain with the renewal piece, but whatever. I'm not gonna contest it. So the results are in. Josh wins. We're gonna take a quick break and jump to a commercial, and then when we come back, we'll be here on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains.
MediaOptions is the industry's leading domain broker specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, MediaOptions offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. MediaOptions believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. We just finished up with the domain game, but offline we were actually just talking. Leanne got the point on the last name that we were talking about, which was empathy.io. And I think Josh was actually asking her offline, like, and I'll ask you the question. So what had you, pick the price that you did, which basically nailed exactly what Josh paid for it?
Yeah, I was just thinking what the max Josh would pay for a oneword.io, where we would price it. Have you priced it yet, Josh? Oh, you just bought it?
I don't think I have priced it. I bought it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm trying to get Dan to now remove it from the seller's account, because obviously the seller's a domain investor. So I think they just did that. So I need to price it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're going to price it or make an offer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, no, which one?
I mean, probably price it at like 50, 50 to 75. I just like, yeah.
Do you make an offer on those kind of names as well?
No, not right now. I'm trying to stay away from making offer. Partially because I just feel like that we're still at the tail end of like the market cycle, where people will just hit the buy now price, and we'll get some kind of outlier sales that are just where they just pay the amount. I think that I would add make offer to most of my listings as sales in my portfolio begin to become less predictable. So yeah, like for example, like Afternic stuff, I'm accepting a lot more offers from Afternic reps now. While like last year, every single time they sent me an email and said, hey, this is priced at $5,000. We got an offer for 2,500. Literally 100% of the time, I'll be like, listen, sorry, Alex, but I'm just not going to sell it for 2,500 just because they were all selling too easily in that, buy it now price point. And then eventually they normally just sold anyway. But now things aren't moving as fast. And when he emails me an offer like that, let's say 50% of asking price, I normally just say to him now, yeah, just close the deal. And then they either get a little bit more or they don't or whatever. But I just, things are definitely moving a little slower. So I think as that progresses, my strategy will change.
Yeah, you have to evolve with the times, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. Well, with that, let's slide into NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet. We've got a list of names that are coming up for auction. I think there's actually 18 names on the list today, so I circulated the list to everybody. Same thing I say on every show. These names, they're all expiring domains, which means that they'll be private auction, which means in order to participate in the auctions, you have to have your back orders in before the end of the back order date. If you go to the post on the DomainSherpa website, you can pull the spreadsheet that has the domains, the Esterbot appraisals. Please take those with a grain of salt. The how many back orders as of the time that we tape the show, and then how many days left in the back order period as of the date the show airs, along with minimum bid. There's actually a couple on the list today that are even more than the 69. There's a few 79, and then there's two actually that are over 300. So along with some other data, links, all that good stuff. We've got no affiliate type of relationship there, so we're just providing this information to help y'all. Hopefully it helps. And but we'll go through the list. We'll talk about what the Sherpas like, maybe some names they don't like, things they think will sell for too much, and why that is. So actually, Leanne, let's start with you since you're the special guest. So why don't you kick it off and talk about a couple of names? You can talk about 6 names before you get the hook, before we move it along. But but we'll even give you a few more because it's all good.
No, I don't want to. 6 will probably be too many anyway. So I was just looking through. There's a lot of 2word.coms here, but I noticed that most of them aren't built out in any other extensions. So that puts me off quite a few of them. Digital Book is built out in the .io, and Octavio is built out in the AI and the .app. So you've got to think they'd be looking for the .com upgrade at some point. So I like those ones. Received, I think the I and the E spelling, like I'm forever typing it wrong. I think a lot of people probably are. So
yeah, and I think
put me off that one a bit.
Yeah, let's take a little bit of time. So received.com, right? I mean, I thought that one was interesting, right? I thought, what can be used for, right? It's, it's got the highest Esterbot value. And again, we say it on every show, look, and no appraisal tool is going to give you the real value of a domain. It's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Right time, right place, all that good stuff. Obviously certain names are more liquid than others. But at least, it's data and it's access to more data. But it has that domain received.com does have the highest appraisal value out of all the names, which I thought was interesting, right? Because could it be used for a delivery service of some kind, for an email service of some kind? The idea of received, but it's the past tense. I mean, so I don't know. While we're talking about that one, Drew, Josh, do you guys think that is a good name? Is it a name that you just, whatever? Because that's kind of how it feels to me. It feels like whatever. Like it's not a name I'd probably be bidding on because I just don't. I don't know that I see it. But received, yeah.
No,
not for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So as we continue,
the only thing I kind of like about it is like when the governor of it wasn't the governor. Was the governor? I don't know. It was somebody in California, treasurer, some politician. Was like fuck Elon Musk. He's not paying taxes, or whatever the gripe was, right? And then they put that shit out on Twitter, and then Elon posted message received, and then like the following week he was gone, moved all of his businesses to Texas. And so I like that. The message received. Somebody just pulled a message received on me like yesterday or something. And that shit rings. I like it.
Yeah.
So but what's that worth? Very little.
Yeah, Ain't nothing to a tree, but
Yeah.
ain't nothing to a trees.io. All right, Leanne, continue.
My favorite is crypto software.
Okay.
That's great. There's a fourletter.com. No, I'll leave the rest. Lightverse.com. I do like that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I won't go through too many.
Yeah, let's go. Do one more. One more for the cause.
Maybe Smart Diet.
Okay. So a name like Smart Diet, what do you think? Like, what are you trying to? If you're putting in a bid at NameJet, I mean, I know you said you don't spend too much, because
you're asking the wrong person. I'm putting in a back order, and then if that goes, I'm like, okay, well, that's good. So no, I don't move in the auction space a lot, so I can't really, comment on that.
Yeah, no, and then oftentimes that is what we see happen, especially at NameJet. Where names are selling for more than you're really trying to pay at a wholesale level. It's pretty hard to then get that type of return or tie up that much capital on a particular name for that long. But all right, cool. Well, all good feedback. All right, Drew, what about you, man? What do you like? What don't you like? Anything in response to anything Leanne called out? Any of those names or
yeah. So I mean, I like kind of the ugly redheaded stepchild's on the list. It's like,
okay.
I like Kevin.net. Like
Kevin,
there's a couple million Kevins in the world. You know what I'm saying? One of them wants Kevin.net for his email address, and he'll pay 25 to 50 grand for it. Right? It might take you a hell of a long time to find the right Kevin, but there is a Kevin.
Searching for Kevin.
You know what I'm saying? And like your downside on that name is like it's like a bond. It's like a bond with a lottery ticket. You know what I mean? Like you get the right Kevin, you're gonna get 25, 50 grand. You get the wrong Kevin, and it's still worth 5, 10 grand, every week of the year.
Yeah.
So I like Kevin.net.
The wrong Kevin.
Yeah.
But y'all remember in Web3 in that Pixelmon project where the dude was like 20 years old, made like $80 million selling these garbage like NFTs, and like the art was so bad. And then the worst one was
called Kevin, wasn't it?
Kevin, it was Kevin. It looked like a scarecrow. You know what I'm saying? He was so messed up looking. And he actually, if you remember, that was during the time where everything was so like fun still. And so then all these derivative projects started popping up where it was like all these different Kevin NFT projects. Like people were literally turning shit around in like less than 24 hours. They dropped like just a whole new other project related to Kevin. And so no,
just for the audience, the next time you see things like that happening in the market is time to cash out. Like just cash out, sell everything you own, your house, your NFTs, your crypto, your gold, your stocks, sell everything.
It did get crazy.
Book a flight, go somewhere nice, sit on the beach, drink some margaritas. Don't come home till nobody's talking about Kevin no more.
Go play a little bit of pickleball. You know what I mean? Like work on your pickleball game. Like literally check out.
Check out.
I was thinking about that.
Sell it all, check out, come back when it's over. All right. I like telemarketing.net too. That was one of the many, many jobs I had in my life is selling magazine subscriptions as a telemarketer in college.
Yeah.
Flexible hours. Love that shit. I came in there and crushed it. I was number one on the chalkboard every time.
Let's go. So, real quick, there's two Office references. I got to shout out the Office. I got the thing behind
Jesus, this guy.
Well, Kevin is a character in The Office. You know what I'm saying? I got mad love for Kevin Malone. You know what I mean? And
did anybody get smarter from that comment?
Yeah, everybody's feeling it. Like, look at the crowd. The audience is loving it. And then also telemarketing.
Leanne's like, I'm ready to jump out this window.
She already was like, hey, guys, this is taking a long time. She keeps
looking at the window. She's like, oh, man, I can make it before anybody even notices. I'll just jump out the window.
Wait, but then there's the episode where Michael goes to work at the telemarketing place. You know what I'm saying? Like, big shout out to the
man, I feel stupider already. So stupid already.
Fine.
All right. And then I like southern.org because, everybody that's Southern likes to tell you they're Southern. So, now I don't know if they're going to pay me a bunch of money for southern.org, but you've got a lot of companies that are called Southern this, Southern that. I think, southern.org you got to get it cheap, right? All these names, you got to get them cheap because you're going to tuck these things away. They're not going to be easy to get out. So southern.org, it's like, you know, you want to own that name as far under $1,000 as you can get it. And that's about it. I mean, I like Senorita just because I like Spanish, but you'll never sell it. You know, it's like one of those names you buy because you think it's cool, and then, you know, you realize it wasn't cool 10 years later when you find it in your portfolio.
All right.
Kitchen Plus is, you know, kitchens is one of those markets. It's kind of, you know, like Shane always talks about, like landscaping related domain names, like lawn care and, you know, landscaping. It's like there's just so many businesses. Kitchen stuff is one of those markets, like Kitchen Plus. It's like, it's probably, you know, I'm not even looking, but I bet you there's like 50 to 100 companies in America called Kitchen Plus, you know, and the chances that one of them will pay you 10, 15, 20, 25 grand for that, you know, pretty decent.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you covered a lot. All right.
Yeah, all right.
You got, let's see, you hold on to that last one. And if Josh doesn't mention it, you could talk about it. Let's go. Josh, what about you, man? Are you targeting any of these? Anything that you're looking to feel something with?
I mean, the only time I ever put stuff, like at the moment, the only time I ever go on Snap Names and back order stuff is from the lists that you send me. So I need you to be really selective about what you select.
See, listen, NameJet, you hear that, guys? You hear that? Like, we're having direct impact on getting back orders and getting a big whale into your auctions.
Big impact. The only problem is I just miss I order them and then I just completely forget and miss the auction completely.
Yeah, well, you can sign up for the mobile updates. You know what I mean? That's something that they implemented.
So yeah, like foodaholic.com, like that's the spelling, right? Foodaholic. Yep. That's how you would spell it?
Is that a thing?
It is for me. I'm a bit of food. I eat a lot of junk food. You know what I mean? So.
There's only 590 people searching for that.
Yeah, it's a brand, right? It's just a brand that doesn't exist. So I kind of like that. I would buy that. Not very much, but I would buy that. Less than $1,000. And smartdiet.com, like that's, for me, that's the best name on there. I feel like I could get mid 5 figures for that name. Just have to wait for the right buyer. I feel like diets in general, just there's always new diets, and people are always spending money on advertising for their diets on like Instagram and all that kind of thing. Just Smart Diet's a good one. I guarantee there's trademarks out there for Smart Diet. I would be shocked if there aren't trademarks out there for Smart Diet already.
Well, there's 2 smart names on here. There's Smart Diet and smartdrug.com. So Smart Diet's definitely the better name though, right?
It's definitely.
I like Smart Drug better. That's a big market.
I like Smart Drug as well, but Smart Diet is definitely the better name. Because it's more consumer friendly, Smart Diet, than Smart Drug. For me, Smart Drug screams more of like a commercial type business. Smart Diet screams like, okay, I can really target consumers on like Instagram and whatever else. It feels a little bit more, just friendly. Feels a little bit more friendly.
Yeah, but what if you created like a new vitamin or something and you want to sell it as Smart Drug?
Yeah,
or some mental...
I think it's a good name. I think Smart Drug is a good name.
What do you think? Smart Drug, Smart Diet. What do you like better as a name in your portfolio to try to sell?
Sorry, were you asking me? Smart Diet for me. Yeah, Smart Diet for sure.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just more specific than Smart Drug, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so Leanne confirms that I'm right. Octavo, is that how you would pronounce it? Good name. I like that. And I would say those are my favorite ones. My least favorite is telemarketing.net.
Wow. All right. Boom. That's it. Like there's a lot of confrontation in today's show between, new generation and the old generation. You know what I mean? This is like
buildingbrands.com.
Yeah. What about, and then Drew, you were going to mention something and then you held on it. What was the last one you were going to name on the list?
The Right Way.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Right.
There's the wrong way and there's the right way, right? And the right way. It's like, I like that.
Yep. And I agree with that. I like the right way.
There's a lot of companies called Right Way.
Yeah.
Right. You put the in front of it, and it's just as good. Right.
Yep.
The right way. It's actually
it's not just as good, but it's good.
Well, with the with Right Way, it's actually is actually even better than like say for example your name is.
It depends
Zebra.
on the application.
Yeah. Hold on. But what I'm trying to compare it to is like if your brand is like Zebra, right? And you have to go with the Zebra, right? Like seriously hinders the value compared to just zebra.com. But with a name like Right Way, it almost like the almost like supplements it in like a
it gives a little way. Authoritarian,
you know what I mean? Like obviously you prefer Right Way, but the Right Way is closer than what another brand might be when you add the to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, It's like we own the domainbroker.com, and I always like that. It's like, you can go with a domainbroker.com or you can go with the domainbroker.com,
Yeah.
It's like, you're entitled to your math, but I'm entitled to the math. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's good. I like that, man. That's good. But yeah, and I think we bring this up sometimes when there is an instance where, the use of the either enhances, improves, or at least doesn't take that much off of the table from a value standpoint. And I think to Drew's point, it does depend.
It's like JT's a man and I'm the man. You know what I mean? See that?
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. At least that's good. I feel pretty validated. I made great life choices to put me here, but it's cool. But I think that to your point, Drew, where you said, it depends on the application, and I think if you have a company that's like Right Way Inc., right, and that's one thing. If you're selling something like you have a book where it's the right way or whatever, or you have a whole program around something that you offer, coaching, consulting, whatever, and like you're pitching your thing as the right way, then I think without a doubt, you'd rather have the right way versus right way, and so yeah, no, I think that one's an interesting one. Last one that didn't get mentioned, good.com, which is, I thought is like the German for good, or it's some kind of German slang for good. GUDE, is that
No.
All right, well,
no.
That's why I just stay.
No, it's kind of like
US of A, Florida, America.
It's a typo of a lot of things.
Oh, okay. Well, then you know what? Forget it. Then it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. But it could be like a pronounceable though. Like good could be like a brand. Like dude, but with a G. I don't know. Whatever. All right. One I don't like is, and tell me if I'm wrong, and then this is the last one, and then we'll move on and close up the show, is systemaudit.com. Any value in a name like systemaudit.com? It'd be better if it was plural or something. I mean, there's no company's going to call themselves System Audit, right? It's a thing that you have done, so.
No idea.
I'd hand veg a name like that, but that's about it.
It has the highest CPC out of all of them, right? So maybe it's getting some traffic that might be worth trying to tackle, depending on the value of the name or what it sells for. You'd think its value is going to purely be based on that traffic. So, then it's just a question of what's that worth?
And good for, Facebook ads, that kind of thing. It's snappy enough and memorable enough, but yeah, I don't know anyone's going to brand on it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's the list. So thank you, NameJet, and thank you, Squad co-host, for going through it. All right, so we're at GrandClosing. This is the final segment. We've got a few more minutes, and then it's basically a wrap. Leanne, as today's special guest, do you have anything that you want to share with everybody? Anything you did on that Airtable sort of tutorial that you did? That you did a video, right? Is there if you could send me a link, I'll put it on the. I'll put it on the post when we post the show on the site.
Yeah, it's just in my Twitter feed. I think if you go, I'll send you a link, but in general, I think if you go to media, then it's in there.
Okay, cool.
yeah, just sort of a tour of it. But yeah, otherwise I'd just say if people want to check out Crunch.id for the stats and the breakdown of the previous day's sales. And also at points today, it may have seemed like I'd zoned out a bit, but I'm just so used to watching DomainSherpa that I was just watching, and then it would go quiet and I go, oh, I think they're talking to me.
Oh wait, I'm inside the movie this time.
Yeah, I'm inside the TV show. Hey, all good.
Surreal. So I was listening, but then I'd realized when it went quiet that I'm part of this today. So yeah.
No, it's awesome.
It can be a little overpowering on DomainSherpa sometimes. So we feel you.
No, this was good. It felt good. Didn't feel overpowering.
Good.
But we have a tendency to fill the space with words for sure. And you did awesome having you here. Looking forward to the next time for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think the stuff you do on Crunch.id is great. It's you get so can you subscribe to the stats to get them? Like, do you have to go to the site every day? What's the
I just sort of tweet a link every day to just go through.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then follow her on Twitter, everybody. Get the links, check out the sales. Every day, get that info, make yourself smarter, do better, all that good stuff. So yeah. Well, look,
you want to try and close the deal real quick, Drew? Right here, live.
Let's go.
I don't know. I lost the momentum.
Mage, Essential, Posh, and Lavender. 20K.
Yeah, what's your offer?
20K.
Mage, Essential,
Posh, and Lavender.
Posh and Lavender. For 20. Mage, Essential, Posh, Lavender. 35, and I'll do it.
Yep. All right.
That's a good deal, man.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna maybe make something happen.
Me
25? Can we do 25, y'all?
JT's like, I'm pretty sure I got a little piece of this. Let's make this happen.
Mage is actually his name, so that's part of the variability here.
Well, I'm like splitting in 4 ways. I'm like, I'll take that. That's fine. So, and we can always connect offline. But
yeah, all right. I tried.
All right. Got any wiggle room? Come on, guys. Let's go. 25.
Yeah, 20 is not going to do it, but.
All right. Well, I'm glad you value your .io so highly.
See, look at that. It all comes back around. There's still a silver lining here. We didn't get a deal done, but friendships were further established. Memories were had. Good times were enjoyed by all. All right. Well, look, I think that's it, man. Unless we're trying to get this deal done, I'm like, we're not getting off this show until a deal gets done. Everyone's like, please don't subject us to that. All right, listen, but I will say thank you to the audience. Like I said,
what do you price Mage in that deal at?
Yeah, I know it does come down to that. Honestly, the two names that I want the most out of those 4 would be Essential and Posh.
Mm-hmm. So what's your offer? 20 for those two? Dude, you're paying 5 for I can't even remember
empathy.
The name now.
It was
empathy. Like, what the hell are you gonna do with empathy?
I think empathy is a good name, man.
Name. Honestly, you need to check out the stats on empathy a little bit.
Yeah, empathy is a good name, man. It's it's positive, right? It's like I feel like, especially if you think about the way that certain words trend. From a vernacular standpoint, empathy is the kind of thing where people are focused on mental health and some other things. And, and this whole idea of like, being empathetic, I think is like definitely, an EQ kind of thing is definitely trending upward. Like, just saying, empathy is a good word.
It has a lot of usage in commerce and culture.
Commerce and culture, baby. Who said that? I think Kate Buckley said that, right?
Hey,
let's go.
Just for the record, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed Jonathan Tenenbaum as the host of DomainSherpa. The last time you're going to see him.
No, come on, man. Drew, you said that. You were the one who said it. Really, don't worry. We're going to cut that out. We're going to cut that out anyway, so it's fine. But remember, Drew was the one who said it, man. He was the one. All right, so
20 for those 2, and you got a deal.
No, man, no. Go on Crunchbase.
Essential and Posh.
Go in Crunchbase.
It's 2 best names in the whole thing. Go in Crunchbase and type in Essential.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like Essential and Posh. That's why I like them. They're good. They're on the same level as Empathy.
Ooh. Dude, empathy is
No,
pathetic.
honestly, essential and posh are better than empathy. So
Not even close.
I will give you 12 grand for essential and posh.
No. 20, I'll do the deal. Less than that,
All right. Well, everybody sees how it goes down in real time here. You know what I mean?
I count in increments of 20 grand. I can't it's like a zero.
I know. It's tough. I'm negotiating with a guy that just paid 115 for wedge in a bear market.
Yo.
This is getting real, folks.
I love this though, man. This is actually, we were talking about this actually earlier. We were saying how if we recorded some of our offline conversations, both like internally as a team on Sherpa, sort of the backstage moments, it's like those are even more interesting and fun and cool than the stuff we put on the show sometimes. And this is actually what our offline conversations are like, right? When it's like this kind of thing. So I think this is neat because it gives people sort of some insight into like, oh, what are these guys like when the cameras aren't on or when they're like interacting like as, human beings with each other. And so this is that, I'd like to see a deal get done though, but it seems like it doesn't feel right if it doesn't include Mage. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it has to be part of it to get a real deal done.
Let's pick it up on the next Domain Sherpa. And guys,
I love it. Let's go.
Make sure you make it known that you want me on the next Domain Sherpa. Otherwise, Drew's gonna get me out.
I think I'm gonna be gone. Drew. It's gonna be like some
just
random
gonna be me
person.
and Leanne going forward.
It's gonna be some and the host is gonna be some like random person he's gonna pull off the street of Lisbon who's just
think about how efficient it'll be listening to this show without all that AKA and the extra words. All them extra words.
Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I get paid
all
by
them
the
extra
word.
Words.
I get paid by the word. Look, I see the comments, by the way. Some people, they don't love all the AKs. They say, oh, tune in after all the AKs and all the nonsense or whatever. Here's the thing.
You just put a button, like skip the AKs.
Skip the AKs.
There's a button for it.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. To those of you who send that feedback.
I actually enjoy the AKs, to be fair. I enjoy it.
Oh, and here's what I'm going to say. I'd
enjoy it more if they changed up, though. It should be like one or two core that don't change, but then the rest, another one or two that just, you got to get creative.
Amar did that to me on one of the shows. He's like, oh, that's cool, but I thought you could have done a little bit more, done a little bit better.
Get a little more creative. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, so here's what I'm going to say, though. For the people who
I like it when you start singing. You need to bring a little bit of singing into your AKAs. It's like when you go, Drew got what I need. I need all of that.
I did the eye of the Siger where I did dun, you know what I mean? So I'll take that under advisement. You know what I'm saying? I could have said Leanne, like Lee and
I. All right, time to end it. Thanks, folks.
All right, no,
without you, there would be no us. Bye-bye.
Wait, I wanted to say for the people who don't love the AKs, I appreciate your feedback, but that will not change. I'm sorry. Take it up with management. You know what I mean? Cancel your subscription. You know what I'm saying? Ask for a refund for all what you're paying for the show. You feel me? So
it's free, dog.
That's my point. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. All right, you know what? We've overstayed our welcome. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you, my co-host, especially Leanne. Thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully, you're not going to be like the next time we're like, hey, you want to be on the show? Hey,
it's like, no, I got better things to do my time.
I have other things. But
thank you, Leanne. It was nice chatting with you.
No, thank you guys. I was nervous, but I wasn't after 30 seconds. You guys were really, really sweet.
When you realized you were the smartest one on the show?
Exactly.
Exactly. So
yeah, that'll do it.
That will. All right. Well, and that'll do it for the show. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Peace out. By Mage.io.